Welcome back to my Let's Play for Pokemon Ruby and my Mono Water Run. It's time to hit up the gym with its annoying ice puzzles. I mean, they're not super difficult to solve or anything, they're just really annoying because, you know, they're there. Of course, I already took care of everyone on the lower floors. Yeah, I just took them all down, you know, in the name of strengthening my team, so, you know, that was a thing. Unfortunately, I decided no, we'll just focus on Psyshock for now, because I want to get Psyshock to be, you know, a viable Pokemon as quickly as possible. I can come back to Lantern later. Plus, you know, I can grind Lantern fairly easily with a Super Rod, you know, if I head back over to Moss Deep City, so I have grinding options open for Chinchu, at least, you know, if I give it Thunderbolt. That's a bit harder with Psyshock because, you know, the Sharpedos I can catch aren't going to be vulnerable to, you know, Psychic attacks, or Surf, or really all that vulnerable to Ice either. So, you know, it's just harder to level up. But for now, we're going to focus on annoying, you know, Wallace here by intimidating his Love Disc, which wasn't a particularly powerful Pokemon to begin with, but, you know, we'll screw with it anyway, because we can. I was hoping to go with Attract just so I could screw it up, because it does know it. Well, let's try and lower its speed a bit. Well, there's no way it's going to use Attract right now, you know, because it's not going to work on Jaws. You can't make a female Pokemon attracted to a female Pokemon. It just doesn't work that way. I'm sure someone can come in here and say something about homophobia, but I really don't want to get into that when it comes to moves like that. I really don't. I mean, we're already talking about a move that screws with people's heads and manipulates their minds anyway, so anything you can think of Love Disc as being like a succubus or something, or a vampire, for screwing with people's minds. The little jerk. Well, let's intimidate it a little bit more. Does that really do anything when it's constantly throwing out special attacks? Not really. But I figured I'd do it anyway. Okay, time to bring out Poseidon. I suppose I could have tried setting up Psyshock, but I did not bring along enough X speeds to really help me out here. Plus, I'm not sure how easy it would be to set up on Love Disc anyway, just because the level disadvantage. It's pretty big here. But yeah, we're gonna basically just pump Poseidon's attack and try and run over this thing after we've used up a full heal. Because I don't exactly have, you know, much better options, I suppose. I suppose I could also use, like, a Hyper Potion to get my health back up, but I'm not as worried about that. Though that Attract's probably going to prove to be a pain in my backside. But even with that up, I still will sometimes throw out an attack, so, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's just an annoying hindrance, really. If only I could put Bulk up on this Pokemon, that'd make this so much easier. Well, let's open up the bag and drop a Hyper Potion on myself. Yeah, we're probably gonna spend more money on this fight than we're gonna get out of it, unfortunately. Now it's time to use up a full heal. Get rid of Confusion. And hopefully, no, we don't get hit with it again afterwards. But the only thing this thing spams is freaking Water Pulse. So it's a risk. Gosh darn it. Oh, it did go off. Good. Yep, sometimes the best love hurts the most. Well, that takes care of one. I imagine this fight's gonna be pretty one-sided at this point. Because let's face it, there's no way Wish Cash or anything's gonna be able to stand up to, you know, my strength attack at this point. They might get off attacks before I do, because, you know, Poseidon's pretty slow, but the blows we land will just be so punishing it won't matter. The only one that really scares me, to be honest, is probably Milotic, because I'm worried about it dropping freaking Confuse Ray or something like that. Just utterly screwing me up, you know? Just making me hit myself for massive damage. So, depending on how much damage we take, we may have to, heal before we take on Milotic. But we'll see. So far, so good. I guess that, Seal just didn't get a chance to really do anything menacing. Yeah, Sea King. Which has access to Horn Drill, so it's got a one-hit KO move. Question is it gonna use it? No, apparently it wasn't very confident until it dropped me, because I'm a higher level. Makes sense. And that just leaves Milotic. Well, we might just have this one in the bag at this point. After all, what can Milotic really do at this point? Well, it tried to go for confusion. It probably would have won the battle if it pulled it off, in case I hit myself, but nope, no luck. Still 3 levels short, I believe, of evolving into Golduck, though. Darn. Don't you mean my magnificent love of pumping my Pokemon full of drugs? Because, let's face it, this victory is owed to the power of steroids. What an awesome power it is. It's why I love using Bulk Up so much on Breloom. It really lets me win a lot of my battles easily. Yep, Water Pulse. Admittedly, this is a move I like to use sometimes, at least when I was running with Vaporeon in 1 gen, but that doesn't really matter right now. Well, there's only one thing left to do at this point. Make our way to the Elite Four and take them on. Which will probably end up becoming a bit of a choke point, because I need to do some serious grinding. And I really don't want to, you know, make my way to the Elite Four's Victory Road in this gen, and not be able to make my way through it, so I suspect I'm going to be busting out the Super Rod and doing some fishing to get a new Skull Cracking with Thrash, level up to learn Dragon Dance, teach it Earthquake, get Psyshock up to par, figure out if I want to use Chinchou or some of the others or not, and definitely need to get Dauntless up to snuff. So I can actually, you know, take advantage of having access to moves like Brick Break and whatnot to utterly destroy the enemy. But we'll see how it goes. Until next time, then. See ya.